Hey everyone, welcome back to Ask Nutritionist Deepa's quick, easy, flavorful recipe videos. And today I'm going to show you how to make a vegetable stew called khatkate. Now khatkate is a traditional root and gourd based soup that is very popular in southern state of Goa in India. The ingredients are flavorful and technique is easy. So let's take a look at ingredients. Taro root, corn, daikon or radish, sweet potato, plantain, green beans, rich gourd, tindora gourd, raw jackfruit, fresh peanuts and pumpkin. To flavor, 2 teaspoons of fresh coconut crushed with red chilies and green chilies, some turmeric, Szechuan pepper, some cooked beans to be added in the end, and the base of this stew is going to be water. Now pay attention to next few steps. The water has started boiling. First we are going to add turmeric, and when it comes to adding all these beautiful vegetables, we are not going to dump everything at one time, but we are going to start adding one at a time by starting with the tough ones first, which are going to take longer to cook. So the taro root is going to go in first. Now as I'm adding these vegetables, let me just mention something that, for example, if you don't have taro root, then feel free to add any other yam or a root vegetable. Now once you add taro and corn, go for some sweet potatoes and then just wait for a couple minutes. As I said, we are going to add the ingredients one step at a time. Otherwise, if you add the jackfruit, which is very tender and has a shorter cooking time, it's going to just melt. So the pumpkin, raw jackfruit and the tender gourds can stay back. Just there is like a minute or two of delay in between adding every vegetable. Time to add plantain, the green beans. The beauty of this stew is the flavors and the nutrient density from each of these ingredients. This stew is going to provide you with the satisfying starches that we need to feel full, lots of fiber, lots of micronutrient, antioxidants, because of the all different colors of vegetables and just different types of vegetables which go in here. Now I'm adding some of the gourd. The rich gourd has ridges. It's also called as Chinese okra. The tindora is another gourd that we use in Indian cooking. But if you don't have any of these ingredients, then feel free to substitute with zucchini. Green beans are easy to find, but if you don't have the rich gourd or tindora gourd, then just use zucchini. The jackfruit and pumpkin is going to go the last. Now, if you feel that there is not enough water in here, then feel free to add a cup or so or half a cup of hot water. Now this initial batch of veggies is getting cooked in this broth, and to flavor it further, I'm going to add the fresh coconut and chilies that are being pounded, or you can also grind it together. Now this stew is been boiling for 5 minutes or so, but there's still a long way to go because none of the vegetables are cooked yet. Okay, now if you don't have the fresh coconut with you, then just feel free to use dry coconut. Just grind it with a little bit of water and the chilies. Like I said, this is a very forgiving recipe. So the cooking continues. Okay, so let's see if it's getting closer to being done, and I am trying to pierce this cure through the toughest vegetable, which was taro, and as you can see, it's done. It is cooked, and corn seem to be kind of done and falling. The kernels have started opening up and falling apart. That's what we want. The sweet potatoes are done. Now really the more flavor is going to come as you start simmering further down, but you can already start seeing smelling the aroma here. It just smells so wonderful. And now 3 ingredients are left, the pumpkin and the jackfruit. So I'm going to start by adding both of them in here. And the last but not the least ingredient is the Szechuan pepper. And oh, I also need to add the beans. This stew is coming together really very nicely. The pumpkin has started falling apart a bit, which means that it's going to give this stew a bit of a thickness. And really what I like about this stew and the Goan cuisine in general is it is naturally gluten-free, dairy-free and oil-free. The Goan recipes never include making the tadka or tempering of the spices using oil, which is very unusual, and that's why I have fallen in love with the Goan cuisine. This particular recipe is taught to me by my dear friend Rita. The last ingredient or the last spice that I'm going to add is the crushed Szechuan pepper. Mixing it in and following that up with the cooked beans. These are red beans which are already cooked. But again, you feel free to use whichever beans you have on hand. The stew will continue to simmer very slowly until all the vegetables are thoroughly cooked. So I think it's going to take another couple minutes. Now, one thing I forgot to mention earlier is adding this taro root with the skin on. And the reason that you want to add it with the skin on is because it prevents it from making the stew slimy. If you peel it and add it in, it gets cooked. It has those sticky prebiotic fibers in it, and that's why it becomes all gooey, and then the whole stew will become gooey. So you don't want that, and therefore you are just going to cook with the skin on. Just make sure you scrub it thoroughly. So the stew is ready and done, and a perfect bowl. What can I say? Thank you to my friend Rita for exposing me to these Goan recipes, which are naturally oil-free, gluten-free and dairy-free. But this particular stew is very special because it brings together all the food groups that we need. It has satisfying starches, protein from the beans, all different kind of vitamins, minerals, fiber from all the veggies and the corn, and the flavor and anti-inflammatory properties from the Szechuan peppers and chili pepper and turmeric. The coconut, the whole coconut, not the coconut milk, add just right amount of fat to balance the dish out and also to help us absorb all the vitamin A and beta carotene that is in the sweet potatoes and pumpkins. So all in all, a perfect dish, and I hope you will enjoy it as much as I am going to tonight. And thanks for watching, thanks for sharing, thanks for commenting, and I will see you next time.